my drone has night vision with laser capabilities. And so we're going to go out there and try to see if we can spot anything weird, you know. And,
where in PA is that? Where in PA is that? Where in Pennsylvania is that?
Oh, Jay wants to know where in Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're going to have to look it up. I just Google it, and then I just hit go there.
Bringing rock, Jason.
Let me see your mom's vagina. Go there.
I love this, you guys. I love this. You guys are doing, you know, crypto meets paranormal meets weird science meets UFOs. Exactly. I freaking love it. It's the whole scope of weird and bizarre, all of it wrapped up into one, and I fucking live for that shit. So tell me more. I am loving it.
I'm going to tell you our last stop, man. Our last stop is amazing. Our last stop is going to be in Old Orchard Beach, and we're doing a ghost investigation. There is a local person that I know quite well who contacted me recently and told me that they were having some really disturbing things going on at their house. And she asked me if I knew anyone that could help her out. And so I contacted my friend. He just goes by Z, but he owns the school of, it's called the Unicorn School of Metaphysics. And that's in Standish, Maine. So definitely check that out. But anyway, I contacted him, and he got in touch with these people, and they've essentially found out that in that house about 10 years ago, there was a police officer. He killed his wife and then killed himself. And they are being possessed and haunted by this police officer. And Z feels, and he's already tried to bless the home. He's already tried to do a few things to kind of like calm things down until I can get there. But evidently these people are being physically attacked by the spirit of this police officer. I've never investigated anything like this before.
Did they try keeping a fresh pot of coffee going? I'm just throwing out some options there.
Right.
Hey, in order to, if you want to keep someone happy, you have to get into their psychological state, and that seems to be a common one that they enjoy.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I think you're right. I'm going to go in there with what I feel is one of the best paranormal guys in the business, which is Z, and we're going to go in there and we're going to help this family. We're going to do everything that we have to do in order to get rid of this spirit and cleanse this house. And I'm going to do this whole thing.
If they really want to get the cop out of there, why don't they bring his wife into the house for a little bit?
I just killed her.
That's bad.
But yeah, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about this, man. This is something I'm really passionate about, you know, and it's kind of fun to play around and joke, but at the end of the day, man, this is something that I'm really passionate about, you know.
It's cool, believe me.
We are.
Cool.
Jay and I are both very passionate about the paranormal, and we both have a lot of experience with helping people with the paranormal as well. We've both helped many families over the years get many different types of spirits out of their homes as well. So we're just messing with you.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to give you some of the symptoms that these people are like expressing that they have. They're telling me that they smell like a burning smell in the house, almost like sulfur. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What does burning sulfur mean? What association would that have?
Well, a lot of sulfur smells you typically would get from what the average demonist would consider demonic type of scent.
Yeah, it's usually a bad thing. Yeah.
Typically, it's a bad thing. Myself, I'm really not big on the demon aspect of anything. I think burning sulfur could be a variety of different things, depending on what kind of chemicals a person has around deposits they have around their house in general. I mean, it's hard to typically say unless I go there and actually investigate, but typically it's compared to, you know, more of the demon side, not good. This is probably what it is.
And honestly, I hate to use, and Jay and I come from different areas. I call in from Baton Rouge. Jay calls in from New York, and I'm a Southern girl. Jay and I investigate on different teams over the years, and anytime I've had someone tell me that, it's never a good thing. I've never actually seen a demon, although I have been in situations where there have been spirits that were definitely not, that were nasty, that were not very nice. A sulfur smell, anyone who has been a long-time paranormal investigator will tell you that it's usually associated with something that is of a negative nature. And oftentimes we find that, especially new investigators, right away they're going to jump on the D word and they're going to say, "Ooh, it's a demon." Yeah. It's a demon. But I find that people like us that have been in this for a long time, we try not to use the D word lightly or quickly.
The first thing I would do.
The first thing that you guys are saying that, because Z, the guy that I work with, he says the same exact thing. He doesn't think it's a demon. He thinks that it's the police officer, and he thinks that this police officer has attached himself to the female that lives in the house.
It's quite possible. It's quite possible.
That I would believe. Mm-hmm.
If I were to investigate it, obviously first I'd want to eliminate all the natural possibilities. I'd want to see what kind of water they have in their house, whether or not if it's well water or reservoir water. And if it is well water, I'd definitely want to check their filters and make sure the filters are still up and running properly. I'd want to check their septic system. I mean, these are typically things that I would do first before I even start throwing around any spirits and ghosts.
Now, Jay, wait. You got to preface this by telling Bill too. Jay's a contractor. He's a builder. So Jay looks for things that I, not being a builder, wouldn't even know to look for. But there could very likely be a lot of causes for why they're having weird smells at their house that maybe the average person who isn't a builder wouldn't even know to look for. You know what I mean? That Jay could maybe find it. Yeah.
All right. So these are the physical signs that we're seeing. This woman is physically sick. She's having gastrointestinal problems. She's having red spots appear on her body. Literal scratches we've actually witnessed. She's being physically drained, she says. She says she's really tired and she can't really get out of the house anymore. They're at 3 a.m. This is something I thought was very odd. 3 a.m. every night, something pounds on the wall twice, so loud, they say, that it wakes up all their babies. So they're having more than just a smell. They're having something physical.
Something's happening. This thing is happening, definitely. Has to be something going on there.
I'm not saying that it's obviously that it's not an entity or anything. I'm just referring to what I would check out first before I start looking into it. Now, if you want to get onto the more spiritual side of it, well, obviously, I'm pretty sure you do. Let's just say if it is a police officer, it would not surprise me that there may be some kind of bad energy there for a couple of reasons. Well, one main reason. One, it was a police officer. All day long throughout his whole career, all he dealt with was assholes. That was it. So, I mean, there's a quite possibility that some kind of darker type of energy might have attached himself to that particular police officer. And if that police officer dies, I'm pretty sure that dark energy is going to continue to follow him around wherever he may be. So the police officer himself may not be bad. It might be something attached to it.
Right. That's true.
Regardless, it's a great story. I'm excited to go there and check it out. I've never done anything like this. It's going to be awesome to go in there with somebody that's been doing this for 25 years, and he's good. Z is a really talented man, and I trust him, and it's going to be really cool to be able to experience him cleansing this house and help family. And I'm going to film it all. I've got great night vision. I've got every gadget you can imagine, and we're going to try to document everything that we find. It's going to be fun. It's going to be freaking awesome.
Absolutely. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. And you know,
yeah, and other things you want to be aware of too, like, you know, and I'm sure you guys will do this, but, you know, you want to interview the lady and the people that live in the house and find out, you know, what kind of medications is she on and how, you know, what her state of mind is and how long this has been happening with her. One red flag that you did mention, and, you know, not for nothing, but for me, this is a red flag. The fact that she is saying that something's happening at 3 a.m. The only reason that this is a red flag for me, Bill, is because, and I know Jay will agree with me on this, often on television shows, they always try to make it that 3 a.m. is like a thing, that it's a time when things happen. And in actuality, it's really not a thing. It's really not a time when things happen. It's just a thing that they make it on television. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
that's
the time he killed his wife and killed himself. He killed his wife and killed himself at 2:47.
Okay, well, then that could make it a thing in this particular case then. Okay, but Jay, you know why I'm saying that, right?
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking into. I'm not going to lie, and it does sound like an intriguing case.
Okay.
I've been on several... I've been on hundreds, I should say, of demonic cases in my time. Needless to say, I mean, I haven't seen any proof of any kind of demon yet, but I've seen proof of some very dark spirits that,
me too,
you know, are just assholes. They're just assholes, bottom line. And it happens, you know. I've said this 100 times. You know, Jeffrey Dahmer's dead now. He's not going to be a nice ghost, you know. Or you know, Jack the Ripper. He's not going to be a nice ghost.
No,
it doesn't mean they're a demon. They're definitely not a demon by any means. They're human.
No.
Right.
But people that are absolutely, and I've seen it many times where, especially a male spirit, you know, they're lonely too if they're still hanging around after they're dead. And if there's a lady living in that house, often they become jealous sometimes of men that are living in the house, and they do try to attach themselves to the women that live in the house and become jealous of the men in the house. And sometimes they aren't nice to the men in the house, and they are trying to be possessive of the women in the house. And that's definitely a thing, and there is a pattern of that sometimes. So you know, I would definitely look out for that. It definitely goes on. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. The paranormal is something I've always been interested in, but I never really checked it out. You know, I've always been a Bigfoot hunter. It's, you know, I'm an outdoorsman.
Yeah.
I basically live in the woods, you know, so it's natural for me to just go hunt Bigfoot. So for me to go from that to paranormal has been really a trip, you know, but it's a lot of fun. And it's interesting. I really like the stories a lot behind these things, and for me, the stories really get you all wrapped up in what's really going on, and I love telling stories. So,
there's some great stories too. There are some great places you're going to want to go and check out then for sure, and I mean, some incredible places for you guys to go and visit if you want to get into paranormal investigating. And it's, I think, a natural thing for you to want to go and do. Definitely.
Oh, I agree.
I've always really wanted to, like, find out more, you know. Like, I'm that type of person. I want to know more. So, like, for me, I want to know what is behind the paranormal. What is behind all these ghost sightings? Is it truly ghosts? Are these truly spirits, you know, or are they figments of our imagination? You know, I mean, for me, I really want to scientifically prove these things to be true, you know, because I've experienced them myself. My grandmother passed away, and, like, when the night that she passed away, we went to her house, and it was so crazy, man. I went in her house, and as soon as my Uncle Bob and I went in, all the lights started to flicker. And we were like, yeah, that's weird, you know.
I believe it.
We walked into her bedroom. This is like within hours of her passing away. We walk in her bedroom, and as soon as we walk in there, her television shuts off, man, because she always left her TV on. She just always did. As soon as we got into the bedroom, her TV just went off. And Uncle Bob and I looked at each other like, that's weird, you know. And so we went over and, like, just to check and see if it was okay, we turned it back on, and a few seconds later it turned off again. So I looked at the TV and I go, Grandma, if you're in here, turn this TV back on. And wouldn't you know, the damn TV turned back on?
I do. I absolutely believe that. And I have been having similar